Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all.
So, Grandmother told you it's time to grow up.
I don't see why she made such a big fuss that I was late. It isn't as if I do it all the time. You may go now, Gemma.
Yes, miss.
Actually, I can understand Grandmother's objections.
You're supposed to be on my side.
I am. But as a lady, you are judged
Judged by society standards. I know. I know it's naive of me, but I wish we lived in a perfect world where money and birth meant nothing. A world where we could pursue our dreams and fall in love with a person rather than a title or fortune.
It doesn't have to be that way. But even if it was, isn't it about time that you thought about settling down?
What's wrong with wanting to pursue my dreams rather than be married to a man who will merely offer stability?
Don't you ever want to get married?
Yes, but I wanted to be with the sort of person who really loves me for who I am, who knows my most inward, deepest thoughts, the sort of person who wants to be around me all the time. Or, if they aren't, they're always thinking of me.
Oh, come now, we all can't be that lucky.
Why not? Why do we settle for less?
Sometimes I think women desire marriage so badly that they will put up with men's inconsistencies just to have the security and protection that comes with it.
I'd rather be single.
Caroline, we don't live in a perfect world. We have to marry if we want any chance of independence.
What do you mean independence? Being shackled to someone whom I do not love is not what I would consider independence at all.
It depends on what type of independence you're thinking of. That of pursuing your dreams, or that of running your own household. I know what you want. You want that knight in shining armor who will sweep you off your feet. Who's rich and handsome.
No, Natalie. He does not have to be rich so much.
Okay, who's somewhat rich and terribly handsome. Sounds like Mr. Charles Gregory?
What? Mr. Gregory?
Yes, that handsome, charming, and, might I add, somewhat rich Mr. Charles Gregory?
He's too conceited. Besides, why single out Mr. Gregory of all the eligible gentlemen of society?
Well, he has reserved 2 dances with you at the upcoming ball.
What? Why, how did he even come to know that? Wait. You invited him, didn't you?
Now, don't get upset. Grandmother's throwing the ball, and after all, one is supposed to invite guests.
Please tell me this isn't another scheme you and Grandmother hatched to have me blissfully wedded.
What's wrong with some good old-fashioned matchmaking? And besides, you need all the help you can get.
What? Am I that hopeless?
Well... My hair! You're hitting my hair!
Well, you should have thought of that before you hit me, Natalie.
Well, you deserve it.
I surrender. I surrender. surrender. My, this is quite a party. It seems the whole countryside is in attendance.
Indeed it does. Oh, look. There is Mr. Gregory dancing with that freckled Miss Mayweather. I heard she has just inherited £20,000 a year.
What a nice round figure. Seems to me they make quite a match.
Oh, please. You know very well that you and Mr. Gregory make twice as good a match.
Oh, cousin.
Oh, look, Mr. Gregory's coming this way.
Ouch.
Ah, good evening, Mr. Gregory. Let me guess, you're here to claim your dance.
That much I must admit is true, if Miss Hudson is willing.
Tell me, Mr. Gregory, do you enjoy a good ball?
About as well, but I do say there's a deal too much idle chatter. I prefer there to be more productive conversation.
And what do you constitute as more productive conversation?
One that does not pertain to gossip, lace, and engagements.
Ah, then may I presume that you believe politics and business to be more fitting topics?
Precisely.
Then it is clear to me you believe women to be incapable of such intellect.
No, you misunderstand.
Mr. Gregory, you are somewhat of a mystery to me. And it seems others would agree. I've heard so many different accounts of you that I cannot make out your character. Some would even say you're proud.
It does not matter what people say. My most intimate friends would say otherwise.
Is that so?
Indeed. I hope time may afford me the opportunity to show you that character.
Out here, all alone? Dear me, I expected to find a man cooing your praise in your ear.
The only thing cooing in my ear, cousin, is the ringing of an alarming headache. Oh, thank you.
Tonight wasn't so bad, was it?
No, it was more pleasant than I had expected. Most of the gentlemen were tolerable, however boring, and my feet, thankfully, were not permanently crushed. But I find that Mr. Gregory puzzles me. I cannot seem to make him out. No, cousin, do not give me that look. Just because someone puzzles me does not mean that I am attracted to them.
Then you aren't attracted to him?
Well, I do not deny that I find him very agreeable in reference to his appearance. But I also surprisingly find that his temperament is not too proud at all.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Miss Hudson, your grandmother's carriage is waiting.
Good night, dear cousin. And don't forget, I have some more gentlemen I would like to introduce you to at tomorrow evening's ball.
Praise indeed.
Caroline, this is Mr. Francia. He is an accountant from Pendleton.
Oh, I'm pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Francia.
It's Francia.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't know.
It's quite all right. People always seem to mistake my last name. In fact, just last week, a counterman told me my last name sounded like French Squire. I had to correct him. Miss Hudson, it might interest you to know that the origins of my last name are actually French. Although, as far as I can trace back, none of my ancestors are actually French. Sometimes, I wonder.
Mr. Franchier, I believe the dance is about to begin. Would you like to?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Shall we? Why on earth did you introduce us? He isn't my sort of man at all.
I never said he was. He had a fancy to be introduced to you, and I promised him a dance on your behalf. Mr. Franchier is a very well-to-do sort of man, and very well respected in society. I can only wonder why he is still unmarried.
Let's just hope for the best that you will introduce me to more appropriate gentlemen.
Like one of the romantic heroes from your books?
Precisely.
So now that we're away from grandmother, you must tell me what you thought of all the gentlemen.
I honestly don't know where to start. They were all dreadful men with no common sense or manners for that matter.
Caroline?
And don't get me started on their sense of humors, if you can even call it that.
That's enough. I understand you perfectly. But remember, the Gutenmeyers are hosting the last ball for the season, and I gave my word that both of us will make an appearance. And besides that, I want you to dance with one more gentleman.
Natalie, please no. I'm through with dances.
Oh, grandmother!
All right. At least tell me who it is.
Oh, if you must know.
Yes, I insist upon it.
The one and only Mr. Gregory.
Well, if I must.
You don't seem too disappointed about that.
Well, considering all the other gentlemen you've introduced me to, compared with Mr. Gregory, how should I say this without you jumping to conclusions? He seems the most decent of the lot.
Ah, you like him.
I do not.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I do not.
What a lovely idea to have a picnic by the sea. I do love the sound of the ocean.
Yes.
Caroline, you are so gifted at the pianoforte. Perhaps you should play for us one of these fine evenings.
Cousin, you give me too much praise. I do play, but not very well and rarely in public. I do not consider my talents equal to the ears of true proficients.
Oh, come now, Caroline.
Yes, please, Miss Hudson. There's nothing I'd love more than to hear you play.
Please, I do not feel up for the task this evening.
Miss Mayweather, perhaps you could be persuaded to play for us.
Oh.
Do not be embarrassed. You know as well as I that your fingers fall across the keys quite eloquently.
You're too kind, Mr. Gregory.
Miss Hudson, perhaps in the future you should play in public more. It might boost your confidence.
I thank you for your gracious advice, Mr. Gregory, but I do not believe it would improve my skill. Quite the opposite. It would no doubt deter me from playing at all.
That would be a shame indeed. I would have rather hoped that critical assessment would encourage you to practice more, and in return enhance your skill, not defeat you and make you give up the talent altogether.
Mr. Gregory, we have a very different point of view on this subject. I do not believe we shall ever agree.
Perhaps we should play a game.
What a lovely idea. I do love games.
I went for a game. Miss Hudson, would you do us the honor of selecting one? For no one's taste compares to yours.
Thank you. I'm not up for a game. You'll have to excuse me. I'd rather walk.
May I?
Mr. Francia, you'll need it for a fourth.
Miss Hudson? Miss Hudson! I must apologize. I should not have challenged you.
And I should not have risen to the challenge. You must forgive me. My temper takes hold of me at times.
Your cousin tells me you like to write.
Yes, I do.
I am fond of the pen as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, I find it to be a great mode of expressing my imagination.
What do you write?
Poetry, mostly. And you?
Novels.
Oh, I would like to read those novels.
Oh, I am not inclined to sharing my work, unfortunately. Only to a trusted few.
That is truly disappointing. I hope one day you may trust me enough to share your work.
Why did you not remain at the picnic?
The picnic lost its charm.
Caroline! Oh, Caroline, Mr. Francia wants to say goodbye. Look what I have found. Mr. Gregory is a published author. And this is his first edition.
Give it.
Nat,
Nat, hand it over.
Oh, fine.
Oh my goodness. Two souls, forever twined, they shall be.
Are you all right, cousin?
Yes. Yes, of course. I do confess, however, to being quite moved by Mr. Gregory's manner of writing. He seems to be full of surprises. I did not realize he could express himself so exceedingly well. On paper, that is.
Are you sure that is all?
Yes, I just happen to appreciate good poetry. I've always done so. I believe even you would appreciate such a well-written verse.
I would indeed like to read it. However, I say I could not have the same love for poetry as you do.
She plays quite marvelously, doesn't she?
Miss Mayweather, shall you play another?
I think my fingers have had enough exercise for tonight. But you will play those, won't you?
Certainly.
Please tell me that you will grace us with your talent tonight.
There is talent enough in this room, Mr. Franchier. Before you are many practiced musicians.
Yes, but it was the dearest wish of hearing you play that brought me here tonight.
Mr. Franchier, you flatter me too much.
I fear I do not.
It will be quite daunting to follow such a superior performance. I do not feel up to it.
Perhaps, Miss Hudson, you will join me in a duet. That way, if the performance is not to your liking, you can blame it on me.
That would hardly be fair, Mr. Gregory. I will play with you on one condition.
And that would be?
That we share the blame equally.
Then I agree.
Oh, my love is like roses springing deep in June.
Oh, my love is like a melody sweetly played in June.
As fair as thou art, bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gone dry, till all the seas have dried. And the rocks melt with the sun, I will love thee still, my dear.
While the sands of life shall run, fare thee well, my only love.
And fare thee well a while, and I shall come again, though it were 10,000 miles. As fair as thou art, bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gone dry, till all the seas have dried.
we've got a budding friendship developing.
I concur with your assessment totally. It's too bad that Lady Hudson had to retire early this evening. I have a feeling that she would approve of this arrangement.
Definitely.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if an engagement was forthcoming.
How true it is.
Yes, how true.
So who do you think Miss Caroline will choose?
Seems to me she's already made up her mind.
Yes, and quite a match it'll be.
Oh, drat. He's dancing with that horrible Miss Mayweather again.
Yes, I noticed.
Anne Maskin says long sleeves are in fashion. She just arrived from London and all her dresses are sporting them. Caroline?
Oh, I'm sorry, cousin. I was just thinking.
I can only guess about whom.
How are you ladies doing tonight?
Very well, Mr. Gregory.
Yes, quite well indeed. But I must admit, a dance would cheer my spirits quite a bit.
May I do the honor?
Oh, yes. Oh!
So why didn't you tell me
Tell you what?
that you're in love?
Am I?
Caroline, before tonight, I would have been overjoyed at your change in feelings. But I feel I must now warn you. This evening, I personally witnessed Mr. Gregory hand Miss Mayweather a letter that brought about all manner of happiness. And the rumor is they are engaged.
Well, romance is a silly inclination. I should have never...
That's a lovely picture.
I do not care for it much. It seems to be lacking in some quality.
You should never judge a piece before it is completely finished.
Unless you're the artist. Can you imagine how many times Michelangelo must have disliked his pieces?
Oh, did you hear? Miss Charlotte has just purchased the most adorable little dachshund. I went and saw it yesterday, and it was positively charming.
Looks like the frost has not yet thawed.
I'm afraid not.
You know what? I'll have a talk with her.
Oh no, Grandmother. She'll be fine. Everyone has their days.
Naturally, I may be getting old, but I'm not yet adulterated. I can see that something's going on, and I mean to get to the bottom of it. Caroline's demeanor has me very much questioning what has happened. It was only 2 days ago that she told me that she was on her way to being married.
Oh, Grandmother, I have so much to tell you.
I'm sorry, dear. I couldn't sleep.
No, not at all. Is anything the matter?
Caroline, I'm not blind to the sadness behind your eyes. You can talk to me, Caroline.
The problem is, Grandmother, I don't know where to start.
How about starting with how you're feeling?
Well, I feel as though I've opened up my heart only to be disappointed. This is why I did not want to participate in Nat's scheming to secure a husband for me.
But how can you find love if you never give it a chance? You have a right to feel hurt and disconcerted, but not bitter. Believe me, dear, you will find love. Someday you'll find a man worthy of your love, like your grandfather, but only if you give love an opportunity.
But the thing is, Grandmother, I won't have another opportunity. Mr. Gregory is engaged, and there's no one that even compares with him.
Dearest, how can you be so sure of this? I have not read of any such announcement.
Natalie told me. She says it is common knowledge that A relationship has developed between Miss Mayweather and Mr. Gregory.
Poppycock. My advice is that until it is confirmed, you give love a chance. Now, I want you to dry those pretty eyes of yours and get some sleep, dear. Tomorrow, things are going to be different. I have a special guest coming for tea.
Oh, Grandmother, I'm not in the mood to share tea with anyone.
I think you'll feel quite different when you see who I've invited.
That is difficult for me to imagine right now.
Well, I just want you to trust your grandmother. Now get some sleep, dear.
I can't imagine why Grandmother is keeping today's guest a secret. I wonder who it could be.
Tea is served, miss.
Please, allow me.
Tea?
Yes, please.
Mr. Gregory, I had not... I did not expect to see you here.
I grant you did not. Your grandmother invited me just yesterday.
You were visiting your brother as of late, were you not?
Oh, yes. I was there for a fortnight.
How nice.
Mr. Gregory, perhaps you'll tell Caroline more about your journey while I steal Natalie away for a quick errand. Natalie?
I take it your visit was very pleasant?
Yes. My brother has 5 children.
Oh,
Did you not know?
no, I did not.
Yes. They are all lovely children. Miss Hudson, would you do me the honor of taking a turn around the park with me?
Of course, Mr. Gregory.
Natalie, bring me my glasses.
Grandmother, come away from the window.
I will not. I'm enjoying myself far too much, and at my age, those moments are few and far between.
Well, in that case, may I join you?
Of course.
So, you're not engaged?
No, no, please sit.
Oh,
I'll explain the situation to you.
thank you.
It is in fact my youngest brother, Jonathan, who is engaged to Miss Mayweather. It was his letters of intention that I was seen handing her. I am truly indebted to your grandmother. It was she that brought the situation to my attention.
My grandmother?
Yes, she made it clear to me that if I truly did care, which I do...
You do?
Yes, of course. Is that surprising?
Well, yes, quite. I was so awful and direct. I should not...
Caroline, you are the only woman who has ever spoken their mind to me. You do not know how much that means.
Mr. Gregory, rest assured, that is the one thing I will always do.
Caroline, I love you. Will you do me the honor of making me the happiest of all men and be my Mrs. Gregory now and forever?
Oh, Charles. Of course.
Where can I find treasure worth my life? How can I clear fog that's held me here? I feel as if my feet are chained beneath me. When do I break free? Take what's meant for me. Out in the distance, I can see you. Can it be true? Look around the corner, a presence like none other. Whatever war, I will fight it for, even defeat myself. I'm your knight, you're my princess. Be there when you're in distress. Ride off on my horse's back. Within my castle you'll never lack. You're the maiden I waited for. My dreams have been met forevermore. Where can I find a treasure worth my life? How can I clear the fog that's held me here? I feel as if my feet are chained beneath me. When do I break free? The day was meant for me. Out in the distance, I can see you. Can it be true? Look around the corner, a presence like none other. Whatever war, I will fight it for, even defeat myself. I'm your knight, you're my princess. Be there when you're in